So here we go. Why don't you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about yourself, and tell us about the film that we've just seen.
I'm Kishin Oyama. Nice to meet you. I'm the director, producer, co-writer of this film. Thank you, God.
My name is Kinxin. I'm from China and currently studying film in New York City.
My name is Iwapt, Japanese filmmaker and a musician.
My name is Daisha. I'm one of the co-directors for the film.
And I'm Isabelle, one of the other co-directors of the film.
What was the genesis of your film? How did it come about?
The story-wise, it's a kind of about, how people sort of like live with regrets or remorse. And I suppose it's about forgiving people as well. And the film is about, it's another taxi film in a way. I mean, there are lots of like a taxi film, Taxi Driver, Night on Earth. I mean, there are so many. But like taxi film always kind of like struck me because taxi can be, it's very confessional. Like it's like two strangers, the driver and the passenger, they sort of like not looking at each other. And they sort of like start talking very personal things sometimes. And I lied quite lots of taxi, and I have heard some really bizarre story from the taxi driver.
A Tropical Call is actually one of my school film projects. It is a film not just about a man committing suicide. It is also about a very serious criminal phenomenon in Southeast Asia.
Our film is about two sisters racing to get to the bathroom first. It's a silly story about sisterhood and loving each other no matter how much you fight.
So the idea, so we both joined a preparatory thesis class. And in that class, it's really about, we call it like the kindergarten have fun class. So it's like whatever we feel, it kind of feels like therapy. So we get to do whatever interests us or whatever feeling. And near the end of that class, they're like, you kind of have to choose a project to prep.
I heard Isabelle's idea during our pitch class, and I was like, oh my God, this is such a good idea. I was like, I relate. Like, I fight with my siblings too. And the original idea was like, had crazy ideas like a hairdryer bazooka and like some crazy cool weapons. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. So I approached Isabelle like, hey, I really like this project. Can we make it? It's super, super cool. And I'm so grateful. Isabelle was like, oh yeah, let's code it right there. Let's make it. I'm like, yeah.
My techie question, which I love. How long did it take you to shoot and then to edit the film?
I had been saving footage for about 3 years, I think 3 years. But the editing took about a week. Footage is 3 years, but editing is only 1 week.
So from the beginning of deciding, that we're going to make a film, like developing the script, the prepping, auditioning, it took like 1.5 months.
It didn't take very much long. So we shot the film in November 2023 and finished in third production in 2024. The pre-production and production phases, including like screenwriting, research, location scouting, and rehearsals, took only like within a week, and we completed the shoot in just 1 day. So the production process was actually very fast, and we didn't have much time to prepare the film as carefully as we could, because of the limited time the school provided. But however, I spent a lot of time on post-production since there was no time restriction anymore.
The idea like came up around March of last year, but we didn't get to start working on it until, was it June of last year, Daisha? Like
Yeah.
June, yeah.
July, I think. When the
June,
summer.
July, when the summer happened, and then we finished it May of this year, a week before graduation, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any funny, difficult, sad, happy, behind-the-scenes stories that you can share with us?
When I was doing mixing session, sound designing session, and then I was feeling not right, and I decided to add the footsteps of the cameraman going close to the taxi and also leaving the taxi. And that really sort of add lots of other layers to the story for me. Um, there has been like some people who watch this film thinking like, this cameraman, is he God, or is this cameraman God? Sort of like, playing tricks to people. And so I got like, so many different interpretations about that. And also, I actually started feeling almost that the cameraman is the only person alive in this film, almost. Because, like, as I was saying, the driver and also the passenger, they has such a big issue inside them. It's almost like I start feeling like, they could be ghosts almost.
I think the hardest parts it was still the background research. Because usually a lot of filmmakers, they often choose subjects that they already know well, so they don't have to dig into unfamiliar territory. But for me, even though I have received plenty of scam messages, I didn't know much about the real background behind them. So I decided to make a film about something I was not very familiar with. So while writing the scripts, I just said I spent a lot of time to research the facts behind the criminal phenomenon. Like I wrote the scripts maybe only 2 days, but I made a research about it like 5 days. But I found that this was very meaningful to learn. So probably in my future filmmaking, I will also probably like keep exploring topics I do not know much about.
I think one of the more fun moments was, so for animation, you need to have a live action reference to kind of get like the movement down and everything. So me and Isabel basically reenacted the entire film in live action. So we can have a live action version of the film of me finding her arm and like smacking her face with stuffed animals and shoving her to the ground. So that whole experience was pretty fun. I'd say sorry, Isabel, she got some bruises.
Yeah, there was one clip we had to fall, and I missed the cushions completely. And it's on tape, and all I could do was just laugh the pain.
She had to lay there for a while. I was like, are you okay? She's like, give me a second.
What are the lessons that you've learned from this film? Because we all learn lessons from every film, and a lot of them are very hard lessons. But what are the lessons that you learned from making this film?
Personally, I think the biggest benefits, focus on topic. I just said like I think it's meaningful for me and also for people who watch this film. Um, it's just very beneficial to learn these things, this kind of a real things situation. But for filmmaking itself, I think it's just give me a better chance to cooperate with more people.
Well, in the beginning, from my point of view, I'm like an animator, so I don't do a lot of design. One of like the biggest hurdle we had to pass is like the design of the older sister. I think I learned a lot about shape language, and thankfully because it was my idea and I'm Indonesian, the whole team is like working hard to make it authentic to me, like make sure the skin tone is very Southeast Asian and then making the tropical feel. I learned how to describe those visual development terms, and I kind of got a glimpse into character design. That's like one of like the technical stuff I learned. But I think we also learned how to manage a big group, a relatively big group, keep like everybody accountable, having the tough talks if we needed to about meeting deadlines or adjusting people's workload based on like what's happening in their personal life or their artistic capability, and trying to be professional throughout the whole process and finishing it on time.
Another thing I learned was keeping the spirit of the team like alive and well throughout the entire process, because it gets really stressful. We still have our other classes, people are trying to finish other things, and just keeping in mind that everyone's work is making the story. Everyone on the team is the heart of the story. Everyone put in their own experience. And so just trying to make time to hang out with people and maybe do fun activities like movie night and things to appreciate everyone's hard work and all the time. Because everyone, the reason it turned out so well actually is because everyone on our core team cared so much. Like they would spend extra time like making designs or making sure the story was super, super exactly as we wanted it. So without every single person working their very hardest on everything, it wouldn't have been to this degree of, like heartfelt, emotional, and just exactly what we wanted.
You're competing with Asia's best independent films. How does that make you feel?
Happy because French people and the Phnom Penh people listen to my music. I want French people and Phnom Penh, Phnom Penh people also listen to my music. I want to listen to my music.
It's my debut, so I'm actually honored. Yeah, I'm honored, and I kind of feel, all the other filmmakers are independent filmmakers who is going to participate with me. They must have been going through kind of, similar pain, similar joy. So, I'm really honored to be a part of, the festival. And at the end of the day, telling story or like making film in the sense is like almost like, you want to connect people with that.
It's cool, it's cool. But I don't feel very stressful about it because I feel like I'm just making a film I want to make. I'm not competing with anyone.
It's kind of crazy to have so many selections and have people want to see our film. We actually just came back from New York from the New Faces, New Voices festival, and we got to hear a big theater react to our film and see our film, especially among all the other ones, because all the other films that were shown were so good. And I was like, how are we on the same level? Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
I totally agree with Daisha. The fact that a lot of people want to watch something we made, something I just like came up in for a class assignment. It's very like exciting, and just like, wow, I can make good ideas. Sorry, it's just like you can't get over imposter syndrome, I feel like, as an artist. But I think we're approaching film festivals as like, hey, people want to see our film, and that's like a win for us. We don't see it as a competition. We just see all these film festivals like as a platform for more people to like reappreciate 2D animation, because we feel like that's a medium that's not appreciated as much anymore at the moment. And for me, it's like showing the Southeast Asian, Indonesian aesthetic and culture, which is very rare to see in media. Especially, and we're just happy to tell a very universal story that is very relatable to everyone. We just love hearing people laughing and saying it's relatable, and that's satisfying.
So there you go, question and answers with some amazing insights into the making of an independent film.